Welcome to Path of Exile 2, a game where everyone is hunting for the perfect build, but while the rest of the ladder plays it safe, I'm doing whatever a random wheel decides. Shock Chain Arrow Gemling Legionnaire.
Oh, hell no!
The least popular ascendancy in the game, paired with a skill that has a literal 0.0% play rate. And because I apparently love pain, I'm taking this ghost of a build into hardcore solo self-found. No trades, no safety net, and in this mode, one mistake and it's all over. Not going well. Oh, no way. Can a 0% build actually beat Path of Exile 2? Let's find out. Like all good ARPG stories, this one begins with me waking up on the beach and heading straight for the bloated Miller. He gets a few good hits in against me, reminding me that I have to actually pay attention during this run, but I otherwise make quick work of him. Once in town, I grab a basic bow from Renly and pick the Lightning Arrow skill gem. Hey guys, as it's the closest thing to Shock Chain Arrow I can use for now. Yes, I know, okay, Lightning Arrow is generally considered a pretty popular skill, but my options are limited, and you know what? In hardcore solo self-found, there are literally only 13 people that have Lightning Arrow as a main skill, putting it at a 0.6% play rate. That's not even close to being meta. Also, I can't get Shock Chain Arrow until level 41, so the goal for Act 1 is simple. Don't die before the build even starts. Anyways, I leave town and shortly after wake up the Rust King, the first boss that tends to give me trouble. Thankfully, I lucked into a bow build, so it's a lot easier to stay alive when you can actually keep your distance. I pew him a whole bunch with Lightning Arrow and his companion skill Lightning Rod, which triggers whenever Lightning Arrow is shot near it for some big damage. I head into the cemetery next and have what I would consider to be my first oh crap moment. Oh my god. He goes down, giving me a timely level up, and I make my way down to fight Draven. I add 2 new skills to my bar, Stormcaller Arrow, used for a high chance to shock, increasing my damage, and Escape Shot, which comes in handy whenever he gets just a little bit too close for my liking. I kite him down and am rewarded with an Exalt and a Regal Orb, not bad at all. Lachlan is up next, and while I'd love to report that this was an easy find given my ability to shoot arrows at him from a safe distance, that wouldn't really be telling the whole truth. With both cheeks thoroughly clenched, I try my best to whittle him down. Over in the hunting grounds, I run into my first real roadblock, an Esmeri-possessed Roa with the lightning-resistant mod and the Mana Donut. It chased me all the way back to the entrance where I was forced to perform a tactical retreat. I head into Freythorn, make easy work of the King of the Mists, and grab the Wind Dancer Spirit Gem, giving me a little bit of breathing room whenever I get swarmed by enemies. While I would never prioritize defense in a traditional run, this run is anything but, and definitely calls for it. I run through the burning village of Ogam next, and have my duel with the Executioner.
That will one-shot me. Anchors away. Almost dead. Dead. Alright, that was fine.
I hit level 15, pick up a new bow with a good base type, and head back to town for an early craft.
Hey, and it's good. Yo, perfect. Okay, do we have a Regal at home? Or another essence we can use? No way. It's a beast. I got 9 exalts, let's do it. 28 to 52, yo, this is a beast.
With my new OP bow in hand, 30 cold res, and a Sapphire Charm equipped, I head into the Ogam Manor, where the final boss of Act 1, Count Geonor, awaits.
Get the electrocute and the shock off. Whoa, more lightning rods. Okay, our damage is really good, and he's electrocuted, let's go. Oh, the wolf mode, not good. Don't stand between him and the sword. Now we have to stay alive while he does shenanigans. Okay, phase 2. Straight into ad phase. Stay on the edges. Oh, he's electrocuted. Big damage, big damage. Oh, this is good. This is really good. Let's go. Okay, that really was not bad at all.
That went way better than I could have hoped for. With the Count no longer standing between me and my eventual demise, I take a trip east over to the desert. But first, this video is sponsored by Boot.dev. Look, we love the grind. We spend hundreds of hours min-maxing characters just to see our damage go up. But what if you applied that exact same zero to hero mentality and preparation to your actual career path? Well, think of learning programming as slowly putting together a Giga Juice temple that with enough time investment and effort, you'll be able to reap the rewards from forever. In 2025, the median salary for backend devs in the US hit over 170k. That's not just Divine Orb money, that's Mirror of Calandra tier. Boot.dev teaches you Python and other coding languages to master backend, DevOps, or data analysis, but they've actually gamified the experience so that you don't get bored in the process. It turns the dull lecture style of learning to code into an engaging back and forth learn by doing experience, and most crucially, with instant feedback. Stop farming low-tier currency in real life and scan the QR code on screen or use code Schwingy for 25% off the annual plan. Thank you to Boot.dev for sponsoring. Now let's get back to this ridiculous hardcore run. Quick check on a passive tree. I am going full glass cannon, focusing entirely on projectile and two-handed damage, which yes, actually applies to bows. Into the desert I go, where I smoke Wrathbreaker, keep a safe distance away from Ruja the engineer, and when I kill her, she drops an absolute powerhouse that would shape this entire run. Oh snap. This is good. This is crazy. That's what we're using now. 100 spirit, are you kidding me? Unfolding Dawn is insane. Let's go. I put it on, grab Herald of Thunder since I have so much extra spirit now, which by the way for the newer folks is a resource specifically for your buffs and minions, and keep running through Act 2. I fight Balbala, sending her to the Shadow Realm, and pick up Herbaria, which will come in handy later when I want to get ascended. As I make my way through the Helani gates, I look out on a white topaz ring I found, just in time for baby Jamanra. Okay, electrocute, big damage. The extra lightning res couldn't have come at a better time. The real MVP though, this 40 life topaz ring I scoop up from Zarka's shop, immediately replacing the one I had just found moments ago. I take care of the elephant in the room, slowly topple the giant colossus, my bow is really starting to show its age now, and find an extra little spirit gem which I turn into attrition, a buff that makes you do more damage to enemies the longer they've been in your presence. Considering these fights are dragging out and I have a surplus of spirit, why not? I'm level 26, my passive tree looks like this, having now added some lightning damage nodes and the Thunderstruck notable to increase shock and electrocute buildup, which I am now getting via the Voltaic Mark Gem I recently squeezed in. I pay Risu the Gambler a visit, hoping to get lucky on a new bow, and while the initial gamble may not have pulled off, the Alchemy Orb and Exalts that followed definitely did. With my new bow in hand, I'm dealing roughly 25% more damage. You'll love to see it. Azarian gets a taste of my electrocution arrow. Once that status effect builds up to 100%, he gets immobilized and I get a couple seconds of either free damage or some much needed breathing room to recover, both of which won't go unnoticed. I finally find a decent pair of boots with life and dual res. It's just missing move speed. Wouldn't it be amazing if I managed to slam it right on there? Well, I guess I'll take it. After visiting Keth, I come out with a white dual string bow, another base worth attempting to craft on. I use a transmute and Og, turn it into a rare with a lesser essence of abrasion I found, guaranteeing some flat fizz damage on the bow, and then finish it off with a few more exalts. The results? Another 20% more damage, and it's on a dual string bow, which inherently has a chance of firing 2 arrows instead of 1 half the time. Yo, this is amazing for right now. After wiping the floor with Torgal the Defiler, there's just one boss left for me to chase after in Act 2, but first... Alright, I forgot to record stuff, but basically I put a rune inside of my gloves and I now have 73% lightning res going into the Jamanra fight. That being said, I think I will go do the Trial of the Sekimas for my Ascendancy next, since I'm still unascended and we need to be a Gemling Legionnaire. So off we go. If I die in here, I'm going to be incredibly sad. I never die in the first trial. No, get me out of there. Man, these are all terrible. I think I'll take this one. It's the least of the terrible ones. The good news is that we're in a level 22 zone and I'm only like... I'm level 30, so this shouldn't be a problem, hopefully. Get some honor back, just a little bit. Boom. Sure.
Never seen that before, but I'll take less damage in the boss room. More damage here, but I don't take any damage in here, so it should be fine. Just win-win. He's immobilized, get the damage off, get the damage off. Get the shock again, the electrocute another one. And finish him off. Sweet. And most importantly, Altar of Ascendancy. We become the Gemling Legionnaire. Editor Schwingy jumping in for a sec. This is before the Gemling Legionnaire got reworked in 0.5. So by the time you're watching this, the Ascendancy has been changed quite a bit. Cool. Alright. So do we want 10% quality as our first thing? And then our second thing would be up here and we get implanted gems for our +2 to all levels of dexterity. Or the question is, do we go for gem studded? If we have mostly green gems, then I'd have 40% less movement speed penalty while moving, which I believe green is what we got the most of. Green. Yeah, it's definitely green, but it's similar. So this would be just 40% less movement speed penalty from using skills while moving, or we go here for 10 quality. Thing is, this also would be good because then you get a bunch of skill speed and damage and stuff. Well, this will keep me alive because I can actually move out of the way. I think I'm going to go gem-studded. This is weird, but I think I'm going to go gem-studded. This is just damage and a little bit of quality of life of quality. Whereas here I can either go for damage afterwards or resistance if I'm feeling squishy. So I think maybe I'll go this way and get like the less movement speed penalty. It's not much, but it's something. So now while shooting, you'll notice my movement speed doesn't get reduced that much. With the trial now behind me, there's only one thing left to do in Act 2. Board the Dreadnought and face off with Jamanra. This is terrifying. It's true, he's lightning resistant. This sucks. Okay, electrocuted. Good. Our damage is not good though. I really thought we'd have more. Get the electrocute off again. There we go. I think I got him low enough. Yeah, he's going phase 2. Alright. Keep my distance as much as I can. Electrocuted again. Huge. Okay, portals. Oh, not good, not good. Electrocute, come on, big damage. Let's finish him. Yes. Alright. We got hit by the slam once, but we survived. Jamanra put up a good fight, but at the end of the day, my nearly capped lightning res and decently sized life pool kept me alive. Just goes to show how important it is to prepare, especially when you're playing in hardcore where every battle could be your last. Act 3 begins with me making sure I've got a good life flask to rely on. I never even bought a Colossal. I should try and get another Colossal. Hopefully it gets good mods this time. Yes, huge. Huge. That's exactly what we need. In hardcore, keeping your life flask updated is super important. Maybe one of the most important things. With that out of the way, I head into the swamp, get bullied by what felt like an entire pack of rare mobs coming out of a Val Temple Circle thing. Oh god. And kill off the 2 dudes that give you your first Lesser Jeweler's Orb. Except this time, I got 2. I got 2 of them even. Damn, nice. I put them to good use, giving both Lightning Arrow and Lightning Rod an extra socket, slotting in Elemental Armaments for some extra damage. I hop into the jungle, come across a poor sod, hang in there buddy, and give Survey the bad news. I'm rewarded with a straight upgrade in the form of a belt with life, strength, and some fire res. I guess bad news can be good news. Deeper into the jungle I went, and there was no way around it. I ran into the king, Mighty Silverfist. He is notorious for ending hardcore runs thanks to his all-in mega slams that could easily one-shot you if you're not careful. So saying that I'm a little bit scared is a massive understatement. He's also totally optional, but you do get 2 passive points for the trouble. So screw it, let's do this. Big damage? Not really. Oh god! Get out of that little corner, sir. Come on. I am sweating, oh my god. Whew, okay. My heart is racing. Jesus Christ. Never again. Whew. Okay, breathe. That was so close. I don't know how low that was, but that was like less than 100, I think. Damn. With my heart rate finally reaching normal levels again, I decided to have a little look-see at the local wares for sale and spotted something brimming with potential. Ooh, 1 to 45, that's not nothing. And then I can Regal. It's worth trying. Worth trying. We'll see. Regal or Essence. Nope. Something good. Oh, 100% increased fizz. Yo, okay, hold up. Straight up, if I put this on right now, it's an upgrade, right? 850. 1,154. Yo, okay. Because I have the exalts, let's use a couple. Gain 2 life. 1 to 4 cold. Okay. Not gonna waste another one because there's nothing we can get that'll be like really significant. I mean, we could get plus to levels, but anyways, we'll probably go into a temple and get another exalty in there. Anyways, we got a big upgrade here. Let's give it some quality. And we go from 850. 1,275. Yo, okay, that's huge. That's huge.
I ran through the entirety of the Venom Crypts next, and finally came out with a half-eaten rib and a flask full of Kool-Aid, which I trade to Survey for a special potion of my choosing.
And then I get to choose Stun Threshold, Elemental, Ailment Threshold, or more Mana Regen. I'm gonna go with Stun Threshold. I think in HC, that's the play. A bit less likely to get stunned. Keep me alive, hopefully.
And just a couple minutes later...
Another I got another Nod Rib. I could throw a Nod Rib on here, actually. It's not a bad idea. We got a Prefix. Alright, let's just slam it, finish it up. Crit damage bonus, nothing huge. Head back to the Well of Souls. Click on the thingy here, put this in here, and we will reveal what prefix we got there. 1 to 16 lightning damage or evasion. That's a lot of evasion. I think we go with the damage though, because more damage means getting hit less because you kill things faster. And now our life and everything, 790, straight up 800. We've lost 10 lightning res, but we can gain that back with the runes again. That by itself gave us 120 more damage. Just that 1 to 16 lightning. That goes to show how important those are.
I keep pushing deeper and deeper into the jungle, leveling up and putting my points into escape velocity for some extra move speed, and finally facing off with the Chimera, who completely and utterly fell over. Ignak Duck tried to roast me, but I prevailed and collected her skull, granting me another 40 spirit and a spirit gem, which I had a pretty hard time choosing what to turn into. Combat Frenzy Mirage Archer. While active, dodge rolling will create a mirage that uses socketed range attacks for short duration and then vanish. Whoa, that's cool. So I could use this and put like maybe one of these arrows and it'll automatically go and hit things. That sounds really good. I'm gonna grab Mirage Archer. I think I can make it do like Electrocuting Arrow or Stormcaller or something, automate something, which will be nice. But I need more decks. So, with Stormcaller Arrow now slotted inside of my Mirage Archer skill, now whenever I perform a dodge roll, I'll leave behind this green clone of me that'll attack with shocking arrows, reducing the number of buttons I have to press, making my build feel a little bit smoother. While exploring the Sanctum, I came across something pretty special.
Contains an additional unique item crafted with an additional socket. Okay. What did we get? What did we get? Exceptional Soldier. Is that Veil of the Night? No, that's a Might Peak. Unwavering Stance. I am not using that. No siree. Ugh, okay. Damn. Disappointment.
With that waste of a few minutes now behind me, I focused on what I needed to do next. Find and take down both Blackjaw and Zikoatl. So that's exactly what I did.
Massive damage, actually. Wow. Alright.
The Mirage Archer setup is coming in clutch. I can really tell that my damage is much higher while the clone is up. I pull some levers in the Matlan waterways, identify a crazy Chaos Staff.
Wow. Look at this insane staff. +2 to Chaos spells and 100% increased chaos damage and gain 39% extra damage as fire and crit spell damage bonus. This is nuts. It's too bad it's useless for this build, but goddamn, that's a staff and a half right there.
and hit level 40, just one away from being able to finally use the skill I actually got on the wheel, Shock Chain Arrow. I head into the forge, hit that level 41 requirement I've been waiting for, and then make a realization. I also need to find a level 11 uncut gem to make it, so that's the new goal. The Forge Master spots me entering his little tunnel he lives in, and our battle begins. I avoid the Guitar Hero projectiles, continuously fire my arrows at him, and eventually his life comes to an end. But the Forge itself will live on in our hearts, and at camp. Alright, unlock the reforging bench. What this lets you do is put 3 times the same thing in there and get a new outcome. Next up, the Queen of Filth, and oh man, let me tell you, I was not ready for this.
Oh my god. Oh god, get me out of here. What was that?
Yikes. Had I not managed to get out of that last one, that would have been the run ender right there. With my heart racing and a newfound respect for the fat lady, I head into the Sun Temple where I know I'm guaranteed to get a level 11 uncut skill gem, just as long as I can kill Kedzuli first. Well, thankfully that ends up being pretty trivial. As long as you're not literally standing still, it's actually pretty easy to dodge his attacks.
Okay. Good news is our damage is insane. Alright, cool. And finally, a level 11 skill gem. Okay, that means that we can get Shock Chain Arrow. But I need more dexterity, damn. And there we go. Shock Chain Arrow. Alright, so we do have GCPs. Got 5 of them. Perfect. What does that even do? More lightning damage. Excellent. Beautiful. And now we also want to use our lesser jewelers on there. So basically the way Shock Chain Arrow works, you must shock an enemy first, then you use Shock Chain Arrow and it'll chain between different shocked enemies. So the idea is you shock enemies with, I guess, our Stormcaller arrow, and then we consume the shock with our Shock Chain Arrow, and we kind of stop using Lightning Arrow, I guess. It's going to be very awkward, but we're going to try. We'll see what happens. We'll try it out.
With Shock Chain Arrow finally on my bar, it's time to try it out.
Okay. So far I think this is just like a straight up downgrade, which is not great. The AoE is pretty massive though, so there's that. But hitting shocked enemies is going to be a problem. When it works, it's pretty cool. Chains are fast, but
I'm not too impressed just yet. I can definitely see the potential when the enemies group up and get shocked together, the chain goes off lightning fast, which is dang satisfying, but getting the shocks in the first place is not that easy. You see, in order for Shock Chain Arrow to do its cool chaining lightning explosions thing, it needs to consume the shock off of its target. Now, I do have Stormcaller Arrow in my Mirage Archer setup, which is helping with that, but it's not nearly enough to keep the shock uptime to be able to actually use Shock Chain Arrow as a main skill. With that in mind, I make an important decision. I swap Lightning Arrow back in and keep Shock Chain as a button I can press for a burst of damage whenever I notice this little shocked icon on my targets. I hope I can figure out a way to make Shock Chain work as my main damage dealer in the future as I unlock new supports and reach new sections on the tree, but for now, Lightning Arrow it is. With nothing to lose, I head into the head-to-head battle against the deadliest boss of Act 3, Viper Napuatsi. She gets a couple good hits in, but ultimately it ends up being a pretty easy fight, and I move on to wrap up Act 3. I get to level 44, grab a key notable that I think will help out with our Shock Chain puzzle thanks to its ability to spread shocks to nearby enemies, and then enter the Val Temple where I fight a copycat of Doriani's mech, which I guess acts as a good warm-up for the real deal. I then use the Reforge bench for the first time this run. 3 artillery bows, we can reforge and hope for, another chance against something good. Oh, and you have to identify it. +2 to proj skills, some flat fizz, some flat fire, and attack speed. It's definitely not an improvement yet. I have 1 exalt to my name though. Is it worth it? Probably not. +2 to proj skills is good, but you need to have damage to pair that with. Okay, let's risk it. Just a little bit of lightning. Okay, that is unfortunate. If I were to put this on, it is a DPS decrease, but not by much, which makes me think that with some whetstones, this will be an upgrade. 2152, 1983. It is a bit of an upgrade now. Okay, I don't have runes to throw in there. I wish I had runes, but I really don't have any runes that can give us more damage. Game doesn't give you many runes, unfortunately. GGG. And now it's time to face off with the final boss of Act 3, Doriani. Go to phase 2, sir. Lock in a little bit. Alright, the damage is good though. Oh, look at that damage. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo, you're riddled with arrows, my man. Don't worry guys, he's fine. With Ray class now completely decimated by the ancient cataclysm, it's time to take my leave and head out to the stormy seas of Act 4. Before setting sail, I'd take a moment to just appreciate the atmosphere of King's March, something I've really never done before. Just hearing the water, the chickens, Fujin. I also can't believe I'm still wearing this. I mean, I can. I can't believe I'm still wearing this. This is a tragedy. But we've got this amulet waiting for us. Waiting for a regal. Might even be worth just putting on right now. I'm gonna do it. New amulet. Let's go. It feels good to finally switch that amulet out. This is literally the 4th one I've found this entire run, and the other 2 were garbage. Alright, time to get on a boat and head to our final destination, Big Bird Island. What is normally what I'd consider a trivial fight ended up acting like more of a wake-up call. I need to step up my defenses if I want to survive the rest of this run. I head to the volcanic island the kinfolk call home next for some ethical experience farming. Sorry kinfolk, I need the loot. While out here, I come up with a bit of a plan as to how to intertwine the lightning arrow and shock chain arrow skills together. Alright, so I've changed my setup a little bit to hopefully shock a little bit more often with lightning arrow, which means that I can use shock chain arrow more often, in theory. And it sort of seems to be working. This is what I changed. I put shock on lightning arrow, and so I've lowered my lightning arrow damage, but I'm getting shocks more consistently with it, which means that then I can use shock chain arrow more often. And while I'm out here, I came across this empty pen. Oh wait, it's not that empty anymore. No matter, my damage is kinda through the roof right now, and my fight with the blind beast is just another day at the office. Enter the volcano proper, get spooked by a couple Rattlecage fanboys, and come face to face with Krutog. Whoa, where did that damage come from at the end there? I don't know where that's coming from. With Krutog bursted down like it's nobody's business, I figure this Gemling Legionnaire is ready to go get his second ascension. Into the Trial of Chaos I go, and immediately I'm faced with 3 annoying afflictions to choose from. Blast charges bosses deal more damage. Petrify if you stand in their duration. That sounds super sketchy. This is horrible. These are all bad. These are all like really bad. I'm gonna go with Drought. This repeats ad nauseum, but thanks to my preparation and over leveling, I'm level 47 and this is a level 38 zone, I managed to make it to Big Bird, who falls right over. I ascend, grabbing the integrated efficiency node, which gives me extra bonuses per support gem socketed in my skills, while knowing full well that I can't even gain its full benefits due to me not having enough sockets on my gems yet in the first place. But hey, this way I can grow into it and get bigger power spikes with each additional socket. I think this'll work out. Feeling stronger than ever, I push through the Act 4 grind, having a close call with Yama the White.
Where's it going? Shit. Oh god. Okay.
Absolutely shredding Diamora the Siren. getting slammed by the prisoner, but still coming out on top and putting him to rest for good. Despite the build feeling pretty strong, and Shock Chain actually starting to not only be usable for clear, but actually incredibly satisfying, my lust for an even stronger build is not satisfied. So it's time to take this character into Path of Building and see what I can do to improve it.
So I've gone ahead and changed things around on the tree. I've removed this area over here and instead put points into accuracy over here. Switched these out for this here since honestly, most of the time that I'm fighting bosses, I'm actually pretty close up and personal to them, and this works against enemies that are really close to you, so I think that will be good. And then I grab this like I thought I would, some attack damage. And finally, straight up here to grab the damage against enemies affected by elements, and my plan moving forward is to go and grab this over here. We're also getting a chance to inflict elements, which increases our chance to shock, which obviously with Shock Chain Arrow, we want that a lot. I lost a little bit of defense here. I think if I want to make up the difference, I can just grab some defense here, and here, although I don't even know if I need that. But these two probably, and then frankly over here maybe. Defense is kind of hard to get on the tree, I guess, unless you really invest into it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out. So far, having more damage has been a good defensive strategy. So I don't have enough gold to respec these last 2 points to then go grab this here, but that'll be the next thing I do with my gold.
I start making my way towards Captain Heartland over in Journey's End, but come across a couple upgrades. First, a Sanguis Herum Staunching Charm, which is just useful for bleed immunity and some consecrated ground generation, followed by a new bow upgrade that I straight up picked up off the ground. Ground loot buffs confirmed? Anyways, I reach Mr. Heartland, a little bit afraid of his potential to one-shot me, and yeah, I need to be more careful. Next, I confess my sins. LA is unethical. I will never play LA again. Ring a bell for some extra exalts and duke it out with Torvian, which, well, I'll just play the clips.
God. I'm so slow. Oh. Good lord. Die. Oh my god, okay.
Yep, that was terrifying. If Torvian was a Leopard 2A8, then let me tell you, the first Herald, he was a pocket tank.
Oh my god, the damage, what?
Okay, not a great comparison because Pocket Tanks was an amazing game, but surely I'm the only person who remembers that game, right? I still got it. Tavakai betrays us. I head to Nakanu to chase after him and get my hands on a super important upgrade, a Greater Jeweler's Orb. I portal back to town, throw that sucker on my Shock Chain Arrow, and go to grab an uncut support gem from my stash to fill in that new socket, except I don't have any. Ugh. So, now I have a new goal before fighting Tavakai. Get another support gem. I head into the Vault Temple for some little rewards like runes and a guaranteed unique, but come out with an actual upgrade.
Got these in the temple, but I need to get like another desert rune since I have my desert rune over here for fire res, and yeah, I can't have less fire res.
I'll be keeping an eye out for a desert rune for sure. So I grind the Nakanu zone, hit level 55, reach Tavakai, but decide not to fight him right away, because I'd really like to get that 4th support gem on Shock Chain Arrow first. A couple zone resets later, RNGesus blesses us.
Hey, a desert rune. That's for the new gloves that we got. So, oh, and the support gem, that's right.
Hallelujah! I stick the desert rune in my gloves and grab the deliberation support gem, which, yeah, makes me move slower when I use Shock Chain Arrow, but it's not really that noticeable thanks to my gem-studded Ascendancy node. Feeling as prepared as one can be in hardcore, I run up to Tavakai's hut and start my 1v1 against the final boss of the campaign. I was not prepared for what came next.
Okay, phase 1 done. My heart is pounding. What's he doing? Okay, phase 2 done. Okay, our damage is insane. Place my Mirage clone down, do that. I'll take Mark. What's he doing? Oh god. Oh my god, guys. Why is he still healing? Why is he healing? Oh my god. Oh. Yo. Holy crap. That was so close. I don't know how low that was, but I freaked out. I panicked there. That was nuts. But we beat Tavakai with our insane damage. Holy crap. And just like that, Schwingy 1 has actually made it to the end of the campaign. Or well, I guess we're in the interludes now, but I'm calling that the end of the campaign. Dude, that's insane. I didn't think I was gonna make it.
With the final boss of the campaign now behind me and my life flashing before my eyes, I keep moving forwards into the interludes. I head into the forest, kill some Val mobs, and out of the chest comes a nice little surprise. Whoa. I fight the Lethargic, gaining 40 max spirit for my troubles, which I'll be putting towards some reservation supports like Vitality 2 or something. I haven't decided, and I need more supports. I head into some ice caves next, where I run into a massive threat, the Yeti. This guy is just a reskin of the Act 2 monkey, and we all know how that went, so suffice it to say, I'm a little bit concerned.
Oh, good lord.
History has a funny way of repeating itself. I fight Articuno next, which goes way more smoothly, get a free Arakali's Gift Antidote Charm from Elder Maddox, and hit level 58, grabbing the Acceleration node, which just gives me a ton of extra skill speed, and it feels good. Finally dropping another uncut support gem, I turn it into Cannibalism 2, giving me some much needed life recovery, so I don't have to spam my flasks as much when I'm just clearing packs of mobs. I take out Blackjaw 2 Electric Boogaloo virtually untouched and find one of PoE1's classic uniques. Belly of the Beast, oh my god, that's a classic. Life recovery from flasks is instant, and it's armor and evasion and 102 to life. Oh, that's a low roll on the life, that's too bad. Unfortunately, losing out on 100 spirit and 15 to all res is not something I'm willing to do right now, so it's just gonna turn into Chance Orb fodder. I wrap up the first interlude with a handy little fight against the Blood Priest duo, Zolan and Zelina. Next up, I head on over to Ogam, where I run into a couple of witches that are shocked to see me again. Get it? I fight a Reaper in order to get rid of some black mist, run through Wolvendom to take down the Warden for some extra passive points, which I throw into this deflection wheel down here, and then face off with Lady Elswith and Thane Wulfric to wrap things up. So yeah, turns out when you can actually use Shock Chain Arrow on multiple bosses and it chains between them, pretty strong. For the final stretch of the interludes, I zap some bugs while walking through molasses, get an extra chunk of life for picking up the Molten One's gift, take down the Cobra boss, no problem, find a greater essence of haste, which I'll save for some crafting later, electrify the fiery beast without getting hit, reach level 64, grabbing the electrocution node, and finally facing off with the most deadly of the three interlude bosses, Prince Asmadi.
He's electrocuted, big damage. Oh, okay, that was scary. Where's it going? I don't even know if I've seen that move before. One more. There we go. Phew.
Somehow, after 16 hours and the entire campaign, Schwingor the First is still alive. And not only is he alive, he is thriving. Is his luck about to run out, or will he make it all the way? Let's find out in the endgame. So, endgame. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. This is being played before the endgame rework of Return of the Ancients, so keep that in mind. My goal is to get as far as possible, and hopefully, just maybe, I can pull off taking down the Arbiter of Ash and the Burning Monolith. To get there, I'll have to grind my way through a ton of maps, pushing through the 15 tiers of Waystones, and eventually find 3 citadels, each dropping a key that'll let me fight the Arbiter, the current pinnacle boss of PoE2 at the time of recording this run. But yeah, that's all about to change in 0.5. Without further ado, let's get to it.
Oh, no way.
So, with that very early perfect Jeweler's Orb, I am now able to 5-socket my Shock Chain Arrow, adding in the Rapid Attacks 2 support just to make my arrows fire off a little faster, which can be extra helpful when bosses are electrocuted. Over the next few maps, I find a small handful of gear upgrades. First, this new helm that I craft up.
Oh, that's so much life. Oh my god. Okay, what kind of essence can I throw on there? Give it mana. Or this. Yeah, okay. That's a helm. If I were to put that on right now, though, it's 1600 life, which is huge, but I'm down on cold res now, and a bit of fire. I could fix the cold res problem, though, with a socket. Yeah, we'll just do that. Stick that in there. I'm a little bit down on fire res and 1% cold res, but that's unlikely to get me killed. That's crazy. 174 life. That's just a massive gain right there of life. Insane. Got an Exalt. Let's focus on defense. You love to see that. You love to see that.
As well as this new quiver, I literally just gamble.
Holy shit.
Still has room for 2 more things. 2 more affixes. Let's go. So happy. Big upgrades right now. Oh, +2 to proj skills. Dude, that's massive.
And lastly, this pair of gloves that I threw an Alcat.
Oh, wow. So if I could get life on here. Just like that. If I could get life on here just like that. These are insane. Oh my god.
I make one more quality of life change before heading back out into the Atlas. I throw Electrocuting Arrow into my Mirage Archer meta gem on top of the Stormcrawler arrow that's already in there. Now my little green clone will fire 2 types of arrows, automating both shock and electrocution. Why didn't I think of this sooner? I don't know. Plus, it gives me room to throw Voltaic Mark back in. Now, whether I remember to actually use it or not, that's another story. I test it out, and yeah, this feels much better. I find a souped up leveling helm I'll likely never use, but hey, it's a bit of a cool novelty unique. Oh. Slam a nice pair of boots.
Oh, there's no way. Triple res, 25% move speed. I'm res capped. Hell yeah. And it means I can actually swap this out with any like chest that has a lot of life and some spirit.
And get my first real swing of the run.
Ooh. I keep forgetting that in Solo Stuffbound this is not very useful, but still, a Divine Orb, let's go.
As promised, I find a new chest to finally replace my Enfolding Dawn that has been carrying me since early Act 2. An evasion base with high amounts of life and dual res, which will ideally keep me alive longer. Of course, to not lose too much spirit, I also swapped my amulet out for this pretty insane gold one here. Unfortunately, it pains me to say that I forgot to record the process. Just know that I got pretty lucky. And as if it wasn't good enough already, for the final slam,
19% rarity. Oh man, that's a crazy amulet.
As for capping off those last 2 mods on my chest, well, I threw a preserved rib on there, gaining some reduced effective curses, and hit it with a final slam, and oh my god. Oh wow. With the 37 spirit from my amulet and now the 52 from this body armor, the loss of the 100 spirit Mindful in Dawn was giving me is barely noticeable, allowing me to fit attrition and cannibalism right back in. I head back into the Atlas, completing my first tier 2 map, find a second owl idol, and hop into another Val temple where I exchange my left leg for a prosthetic with 10% increased sprint speed. These prosthetics are actually pretty cool when you aren't in danger of losing them when you die, because in hardcore if you die there's a little bit more at stake than just a prosthetic. I run my first architect, getting an early T6 map while in here despite only running tier 2s up till now, and then hop into my very first abyssal depths, where I nearly die. Twice. Against my better judgment, I decided to push on anyways, and my perseverance, or stupidity depending on how you look at it, was rewarded.
Oh baby, Omen of Light.
While not useful right away, this Omen of Light could come in clutch later on if I ever get a chance to craft a really sick endgame bow. I hit level 74, grab the Frazzle node on the tree for some extra shock magnitude, and enter an Untainted Paradise, a unique map which exchanges loot drops for increased experience. Unfortunately, I'm running this as a tier 2 Waystone because that's the only safe one I have, and I only got about a quarter of a level from it, so really not that much more compared to a regular map. I push onwards to tier 4s and decide it's time for another power spike, my third Ascendancy trial. So I pop a random assortment of relics in, and in I go. I complete a room and have a terrifying decision to make. Which affliction is worse? Extra damage when on low life, or not being able to plan ahead? I decide to risk it all and convince myself that you can't take extra damage on low life if you're never low life in the first place. I tear through both Rattlecage and the duo on floor 2, lost a third of my honor in a freaking hourglass room of all things, and then having not learned a single thing, lose another 900 honor a couple rooms later. This is not looking good. Into the boss room I go for my showdown with Ashar, the Sand Mother. I keep my distance, riddling the poisonous scorpion with shock chain arrows, dealing big damage while it's electrocuted, and dodge out of all of its dolphin dives. And just like that, the Trial of Sekemas is complete, granting me my third set of points, and not a moment too soon, as while I was trying to decide where to put my points, my PC decided I'd played enough.
So my entire computer just crashed. I'm hoping that I'm still inside the room with the rewards, and I'm not. Well, good thing I clicked on the altar just in time, Jesus.
Well, that could have gone a lot worse, and with a 10% quality buff on all of my skills now active, I'm ready to get back to the grind. An hour or two flies by, and before I know it, something happens.
How is this even possible, man? Citadel's already here. I'm doing tier 5, tier 6 Waystones. Sheesh. Anyone who says they can never find Citadels, I honestly don't know how. There we go. Blue Citadel found.
Oh, and red. What the hell?
They're so close. Alright. Time to just farm up.
So, I'm level 80 now, and I've found this pretty good bow base for what I'm hoping will be a significant upgrade. It's got a decent flat lightning roll and a ton of base crit already. So I throw a greater Essence of Abrasion on it to guarantee some solid flat fizz. While I could just throw some Exalt on it and see what I get, I'd rather find a preserved Jawbone by farming some Abysses instead, just to give some level of control over what gets added. So, to do that, I'm going to be spamming maps with this Abyss tablet I have, and hope for a Jawbone to drop. First map.
Alright.
No dice. But the second.
Hey, a Jawbone already. Just the second one. Let's go.
Now I just have to kill the boss and make it out of the map safely, and...
Oh, come on, what is this? No, no, no. No. Close the program, kick me out of there. Oh god, did I die? That's very possible that I'm dead. Okay, I'm still alive. Okay, that could have been... Well, that was terrifying. That could have been really bad.
Alright, now, back to the bow.
This is our cavalry bow that we used our Essence of Abrasion on to guarantee that fizz on there. And now we're gonna preserve jawbone this guy. I'm just gonna go ahead and use our preserve jawbone on it. If I had greater exalts, I'd use that, but I don't. So we're gonna fill up the suffixes now. 10% attack speed, not terrible. And reduced attributes. It's actually kind of good for me because I don't have the most amount of dex. So now we take it to the Well of Souls and we hope to uncover something good. Like the best case scenario, increased fizz, like a lot of it. And hopefully that's an upgrade. We'll see. See what we get. Ah, nothing great. Take the fire damage. And now I am not sure if this is even going to be an upgrade. I'm going to have to path of building it and find out. So as it stands right now, it's a 10% increase. It is still an upgrade. That, 2 of those, and then runes. Put that on, 2389 goes to 22168.
With my lovely new bow in hand, I tested out in one of those special maps which guarantee a linear support gem for killing the boss. In this case, it's the Jade Isles, aka I'm fighting Tavakai again, and there's a small chance I'll get one of the best supports in the game, Rakiata's Flow, which would be a huge boost. I fight my way through the locals and reach his big hut. The fight begins, and I absolutely melt him. Unfortunately, luck was not on my side this time. I visit the temple once more, finding a tier 17 skill gem to upgrade my shock chain arrow, nice, hitting level 82, and even finding my first annulment orb. Whether it'll come in handy or not, hard to say. I tread through another abyssal depths, knowing full well that enemies in here are deadly, but my recent upgrades mean I'm obliterating everything in my path with my chaining arrows. Gradually pushing through the difficulty tiers, I get stronger and stronger, gaining levels and, for the most part, kicking ass. I get through T11s, 12s, 13s, and finally reach tier 15 after having run 4 powerful boss maps at T14 and not once getting the guaranteed Waystone upgrade. Man, some of these maps are just bugged, right? Like either that or I am completely misunderstanding how Waystone drops work. You guys let me know. I check my atlas and... hey, there's the third one. Not wanting to rush things, particularly because holy crap, it's actually happening. Somehow I'm in tier 15s now. I decide to make my way over to the Orange Beam before tackling on the Citadels themselves. I complete my first T15, taking down the fiery beast completely unscathed, and head back to town to empty my inventory, completely unaware of what was about to happen.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy, my jaw just dropped. 250 to 453? Are you kidding me? So you give it that. You give it all of that. 300 to 543. You give it the runes it needs. 343 to 621. That's a 49% increase right there. Use the greater exalt on it. Alright, we got a sick bow now. So it's already insane. Like, actually insane. But, do need to get, like, a preserved jawbone to finish this off. Because I want to use my Omen of Visible Echoes, potentially Omen of Light if we need to. That's going to make a sick, sick bow. Like, if we could get another hybrid fizz on there. Anyways, when we equip it, Shock Chain Arrow goes from 28,611 to 43,51. Oh my god, actually crazy.
As for my passive tree, I've kinda been slacking on giving you all updates, but I'm really not doing anything special. Just grabbing damage nodes, crit, evasion, and anything that increases my chance for lightning arrow to shock. It's really quite vanilla. I head back into another Jade Isles map, hoping for that GG Rakiata's Flow, and even though my damage has reached disgusting levels, no Rakiatas for me. A few notable drops on the way over to the last citadel include this giant belt explosion that Lulu would be proud of, a rabbit idol I got off a rogue exile, and finally that preserved jawbone I'd been looking for. So I take it and my couple GG omens over to the Well of Souls for my final big desecration attempt. I make sure my Omen of Abyssal Echoes is active, giving me a second reveal should I need it, and RNGesus, please hear my call. While the 67% increased LE damage would absolutely be an upgrade, I was really hoping for some flat lightning or fizz instead. And since I'm a bit of a gambler at heart, let's not settle. Well, damn. Attacks penetrate 20% lightning res, it is. While I'm not entirely sure which mod is stronger, I can guarantee you that this is an upgrade. With my endgame bow now as strong as it possibly could be given my limited resources, it's time to wrap this show up. Into the Stone Citadel I go, ready to face off with Doriani one last time. He puts up a real fight, making me earn my Crisis Fragment, but earn my fragment I do. Next up, the Iron Citadel, with a temp chains map because it's the least scary T15 I've got. What could possibly go wrong? I enter, hit level 87 off the first pack of monsters, and make my way over to Count Geonor for our final rematch. I gotta say, having to dodge the temp chain circles on the ground was extra spicy. I get him down to phase 2, dodge his spearmint breath, and... No. That's what I get for not running a thawing charm. He gets knocked over, and I finish him off. 2 out of the 3 citadels down, I left the scariest for last. With Jamanra's innate resistance to lightning, my build is at a serious disadvantage, is what I thought. What I didn't remember was that my bow actually kinda solves that problem, at least partially. While definitely threatening and a little bit scary, in hindsight, Count Geonor was a much more deadly foe. With all 3 Crisis Fragments in my possession, this is the make it or break it moment for this first real hardcore run of mine. Can this silly shock chain arrow slash admittedly also kind of lightning arrow Gemling Legionnaire actually beat the Arbiter of Ash in hardcore? Scared out of my mind, there's only one way to find out.
Oh boy. I get him to phase 2, I'll be happy. Damage is good. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I don't like that he started with the ring. Oh no, what the? Oh my god. No! Oh, it was going so well, actually, though. Ah, that was so good. I got into phase 2.
Upon resurrection, your replacement lips will be discarded. That is it for Schwingcore 1. Schwingcore the first. Damn, what a good run though. Holy crap, I did not expect to make it this far, guys. I thought I was gonna die in like Act 2. We freaking made it to the Arbiter of Ash. Oh, okay, that is the end. There's always next time. I'm amazed. I can't believe it. Like, this is has opened my eyes into how to make a character that is tanky. And it's not even about making a tanky character, because my character is not tanky. If you look at my path of building, I have an EHP of 8k, a max phys hit of 2.4. This is not a tanky build. You just gotta play a bit more carefully, and then you can actually survive in hardcore. You know, if you're ranged at the very least, it's definitely doable, even on a squishy evasion build. Like, I played evasion only, no energy shield. Okay, 68 energy shield. Yo, that is insane. What a good run. I'm pleased with how far I made it. Really, really pleased. Damn it, I didn't get a subscribers orb this time. Oh well. Thanks to Boot.dev for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to check them out if you'd like to learn programming. And a special thank you to all my supporters. This video took me longer to produce than usual, and that's because I've been busy preparing for a big move. Like, I actually moved, and it's quite literally thanks to you guys. So from me to you, a huge thank you, for real. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in Return of the Ancients, where the entire endgame has been revamped. Oh man, I cannot wait.